or if you want to get rid of that moon landing black magic, go look up moon landing conspiracy theory. Go look up that. There's so many people, so many documentaries, thousands of people giving disclosure about the moon landing, thousands of people giving disclosures, so many documentaries, so many videos, so many articles about the 9/11, about the shape of the earth. Many people have spoken of it. So go look at those disclosures and regain your spiritual identity, or release some of those black magic from your mind. And these things are important because we have to know. That's all about intelligence. It's all about discernment. It's all about not being tricked. It's all about not being fooled. It's all about recognizing wisdom of discernment, wisdom of discrimination, wisdom of mirror-like wisdom. So you have to see, you have to penetrate some of this hardcore black magic that the whole world is like, whoa, we went to the moon, and everyone's like, whoa, we went to the moon. But it's not true. That's a hard form of black magic that you have to penetrate and you have to overcome. So you have to come to us, we have to come to the disclosure community. We'll do research, we'll give you that information, because all you have to do is take that information and do your own research and see what you can find, because you will find a totally new angle that no one's talking about, because we are all intelligent in a different way, and we all have different pragya lenses, we all have that different view, and we need to utilize that. And that's why we live in this massive human community, because we help each other and we give each other all of these different lenses and we open each other's mind. That's the whole point. Otherwise, God could just be one being living in his eternal creation, happy. He would not need to create all of us. Look at it through the pragya view, and every view is valid and every view is important, and that's the only way you can gain liberation, is through the pragya view. Pragya is a very common Nepali name, but it is also pronounced as Prajna Paramita in Sanskrit, and I have been saying Prajna Paramita, but now I'm saying Pragya because I've been listening to Nepalese gurus and they say Pragya, but I'm used to Prajna Paramita, and I'm doing my mission through that lineage, through the Nepalese lineage of Pragya, and then we have the ferry across with the Tara. So all these works are happening on our earth. So give thanks to our Father in heaven, give thanks to our Lord Jesus Christ, because he's working really hard on this earth, and give thanks to all the Buddhas that are protecting us, that are watching us, because it's the end times. It's a very crucial time for humanity, and there are billions of people that are suffering, that billions of people that are in deception of Satan. And we thank all the spiritual Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Takinis and angels of heaven, everyone that is watching over us, supporting us unconditionally when we don't even know. So we give thanks to them, and we give thanks to Father for his great spiritual work and the great warrior that he is. So we have understood the Prajna Paramita concept of beyond the shore gone through the Heart Sutra of Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Buddhi Soha. We have established that foundation, and we understand that the Prajna Paramita Heart Sutra, or the Prajna Paramita lineage, is performing the rapture for humanity to bring in the tribulation. So that's something that is easy to understand and grasp, and I have already discussed that before, but now I want to take the Prajna Paramita concept a bit further, a little bit deeper, and understand the Prajna Paramita emptiness. So in its essence, Prajna Paramita means emptiness. So how that can relate directly to this reality that we are a part of, this satanic reality that we live in, and all the ruling elites that follow the satanic religion. They're part of the satanic religion. And we, the entirety of the human race, the whole planet Earth, the whole human race has been tricked and deceived and fooled by the Satanist or Satan himself, or food by the religion of Satanism. So Satanism involves technology, science, the education system, the consumerism, all your brands and branding and fashion and all the clothes that we wear, all these new styles that we have to follow and we have to be a part of. This massive consumerism that we are taught into different color palettes that we follow after. So all of these things are coming directly from Satanism into our world. A bigger house, nicer cars, better education, higher income, higher status. All of these things are part of the satanic religion. It is the satanic system because it is to do with the material world, which is your ego self and not your spiritual identity, because the spiritual identity is about letting go of all material things and believing in our Father in heaven, having total faith in Him for His providence and for His guidance. Doesn't matter how impossible the situation seems, we give everything to Father and trust in Him and have total and complete faith in our Father. But materialism teaches you survival-based lifestyle, that you have to earn money. If you don't have money, you cannot survive, you cannot eat, your belly will be empty, you'll be hungry, you'll have nowhere to sleep, you'll have no home. So all of these are survival-based fears that are taught to us by Satanists. Through that fear, Satanists will pull us into their orbit and we become one of them, and we work very hard and they make us work very hard for very less, which is like we are stripped off of our spiritual identity and we have nothing within us, but we are just robots working for food and working for shelter, which animals have for free. All of these deception that we have to be able to penetrate and overcome and understand what the scripture is saying and understand the different things that the Buddhas did, the Bodhisattvas, the monks, that they adopt these different lifestyles that can come in, that can give you a different perspective during the tribulation. If you're not getting the mark of the beast, you can study some of the Hinayana monks, how they live. You can study that. Everything is satanic based, everything is based on deception, because if we don't understand the spiritual scriptures, we do not know where to turn to in difficult situations. But when we have the scriptures and we have developed that faith in our Father, and we have some of the Buddhist scriptures of how monks give up everything and they live for the Dharma, they live for Buddha, they live for the benefit of other people, that they want suffering to end, and they dedicate their lives to that path of Dharma. So, or they dedicate themselves to the life, to the path of total liberation from suffering for other people and themselves. So these things we can understand and study, reorient and reposition ourselves in life and get rid of the survival fear programming that Satanism teaches us. And it is their structure, it is their lifestyle, it is their system. It's not our system. In our system, our Father provides for us. But in the Satanist system, they don't have the Godhead. They have detached, they cut themselves, severed themselves from the Godhead. So now they have to do black magic and witchcraft and deceive and lie and work really hard to earn some food or to have a house or to have any meaning in their lives. So that's why it's a Satanism. They work really hard. They do a lot of witchcraft and black magic to deceive the people, to give our money to them, that they can survive and eat. And that's Satanism. So they're using our energy, they're using our time, they're using our physical body, they're using our earth, they're using our resources, all our plants, food, vegetables, all our minerals, everything you can imagine, oil, textile, everything. They are using our resources, our earth resources, and fulfilling their desires and their wishes and their ability to live and survive through us, through the human race. So the fallen angels, that's how they live. They live by deceiving us, making us pay for our own water, making us pay for our own food, making us pay for our own homes. They deceive us and they make us work hard to pay for our own things while they live for free through our tax money and the money that they profit from us, and all this money that we give them, and all the profits that they gain through the system that we work really hard for. And it kind of gives these Satanists a lot of money, and it gives them survival because they do not have the Godhead. We have the Godhead. So we are in a higher position than these rich Satanists that are actually exploiting our identity, our energy, and taking from us because God gives to us, and they somehow find a way to steal all of that from us, that what God gave us. So we have to understand the equation. We have to understand how everything is streaming, how the architecture is streaming, and what's happening to us, and how the Satanists are actually using us and using humanity as their main source of consumption, as their main source of fuel, whether it's emotional fuel by making us suffer. They become very happy and they are very empowered to see us suffer. They get that emotional high. They get really happy when they hurt us. Or they want our talent, they want our hard work, they want our resources, our birthright, everything that we are, they want to take away from us, and they want to profit through us individually. So these things we have to understand. So everything is based on deception, and everything is based on lies. So one should understand that you are a child of God and you live under the providence of our Father in heaven. You are able to take your power back and not let the Satanists take everything away from you. And you realize the nature of emptiness when you do that, because all of these grandiose ideas that has been taught to us about PhDs and doctors and engineers and actors and the best bookseller or the highest paid actor or the richest person in the world, all of this is all fake. And these things are not, humans are not allowed to aspire to those goals because that's not our system. We live in a totally complete whole system, which is the earth. We do not have to work for oxygen, so we do not have to work for food because there's so much food that all the humans in the whole world cannot consume all the food in this earth produces. Like for example, in the ocean, that's 70% water and only 30% land in which we humans live. So 70% ocean is all the fishes that we could eat, but somehow in Western countries they make it illegal and very difficult for us to fish, and they pretend like they own the ocean, or they pretend like they own all the land, and they won't let us grow our own food in our land. In Australia, you need permission to have a chicken in your backyard. You need permission from the government. You need permission from your local council to have chicken in your backyard, because you're not allowed to produce your own food. If you start planting your own food, there'll be pesticides, people knocking at your doors, like, do you have fruit trees, and we need to spray your garden with chemicals. So they will start coming in and knocking and start contaminating our garden. So it's very, that communist, extremely totally tyrannical control mentality that we live in Australia. It's a very clinical world. So if you want to live as a free human being, you'll soon realize how corrupt this world is. But if you are in a 9-to-5 job and you just have a simple life, you go shopping in Coles and Woolworths, in your supermarket shopping, then you won't see the tyrannical control because you're part of the system, and they do not need to control you further because you're already in the satanic system. But when you want to live as a free being, as a child of God, you want to renounce the world, you want to grow your own food, and you want to live on your own, they will make it very difficult for you, and you will soon wake up and realize that we do not live in a free world. When you start to live on your own, or when you decide to follow the path of Buddha, or you follow the path of Christ, our Father in heaven, you'll soon realize that you do not live in a free world. So you have to understand and unveil all of this deception, and that unveiling will eventually take you to that point of emptiness, and you will realize everything is fake, everything is corrupt, everything is a lie, everything is deception. There is no terrorism, there was no 9/11. For example, the tsunami in Japan was done by the fallen angels. So all this weather modification stuff, storms, and you have all this typhoon and hurricane this and hurricane David and hurricane Sandy, and all of this is actually technologically done weather modifications to destroy communities, because the elites get a lot of satisfaction from willing their power at that level. So when you realize, like, even the weather is not real, someone else actually willing that and doing that, you'll realize all the illnesses and diseases are not real. They're given to us telepathically through the fallen angels, are giving us diseases. Pollution is not real. Nothing is real. Your celebrities are clones, they're androids. All the TV readers are androids. They're not real human beings. They're synthetic clones. They don't have any human consciousness. They don't have the human soul or human mind. They're just computers. They're just a gadget. They're like an appliance. They're like a radio. They're not real human beings. They're androids, synthetic humans. They do not have any soul in them. So when you realize that you have been believing in celebrities and politicians that are androids, that are clones, you have been listening to newsreaders that are android clones, all of this machine is running the world. When you realize, then you will have a direct experience with emptiness. So it won't just be a very hard to grasp conceptual Buddhist concept of emptiness, like Prajna says emptiness, everything is empty. Like, what does that mean? It's so difficult to understand, it's so hard to penetrate. Like, I cannot understand reality at that level, but through the Vajrayana path that all of humanity is in, and I am in the Vajrayana path at this stage. And when the veil lifts, or when the veil drops, and you realize it's this massive fake theater. It's basically a theater. It's basically a show full with actors and scripts, literal scripts. They're called MK Ultra scripts, mind control scripts. So they're actually written down, and you can track these scripts in the mainstream. So it's not like a hidden script in Satan's office, you know. It's like the scripts you can track in the mainstream world. The 9/11 script is everywhere. It's in magazines, it's in comics, it's in music videos, it's in movies. So way before 9/11 happened, there were so many movies, music videos, comics made about 9/11. So it's like that. So everything is a script. So it's already been written, and they know that they are already going to do those acts. So they are not a naturally occurring terrorist event, but they have been planned for many years ahead. So when you realize, and when you drop the veil at that level, you will see this whole reality is empty. It's fake, because everything is fake. Satan, who deceived the whole world, as it says in the book of Revelation. So you will have a direct experience with emptiness. You realize everything is fake, everything is empty, nothing is real, not even money is real. Nothing is real. And when you can understand reality at that level, and when you can conceptualize it, when you can see it, when you can hear it, when you hear, you understand, when you see, you understand, and then you are free. Then you can attain your highest realization and rapture and go to heaven. So unless you can drop all of those veils and directly have a direct experience with emptiness. So it's not just a conceptual experience with emptiness, but a direct experience with emptiness, seeing this, our reality, our earth world, for what it truly is. It is a script of Satan, and nothing is real. So you'll have a direct experience with emptiness, and that's the highest path, and that's the Vajrayana path, and you will get to directly see it. So whatever is written by the Buddha, it actually manifests in reality. It happens. So it's not just a conceptual idea. So whatever the Buddha has said, verbally said, they happen, they manifest, they take form. So if you want to experience emptiness directly, you have to understand the disclosure works of all the people, and you have to study disclosure work and drop all the veils and realize everything is fake. Everything is a theater. Everything is a show. Nothing is real. and that should direct experience with emptiness.